Here we go. I think we're good, right? Hey there, it's Mia Redrick here. Hopefully I'm not crooked. And I am so excited to talk to you guys tonight. It's been a long time. I was not on the scope yesterday. I was traveling. I had just gotten back. I was out of town yesterday. I got back from LA at 6 in the morning, so I slept all day yesterday. I am Mia Redrick, the mom strategist, and I am sticking to it. I am so excited. I support moms with life and business success. And, you know, if you haven't invited your friends, I want you to invite your friends. I know. I slept all day as much as I could. My daughter had a play yesterday, and so I was at her play yesterday. My dad had a party for his bowling club yesterday. So I tried to sleep all day, but I worked really this past week. It was an amazing week for me. And if you've been following any of my scopes, hopefully from LA, you kind of get a sense of what's been happening. But this session is for you. It's a life coaching session. And, you know, I thought that one of the things that I want to do in the mom space. Hey there, good to see you, darling. One of the things that I want to do in the mom space is to expose you to life coaching, to business coaching. And if you're not familiar, thank you so much for the hearts. If you're not familiar with how life coaching or business coaching can support you, sometimes it's hard to know how it works unless you've met a coach. And I have supported over 400 clients toward their life and business success. 112 of my clients have written books. Half of them are Amazon #1 bestsellers. And so almost any scenario that you've got going on in your business, I've probably seen. And if I don't, I'll refer you to someone that I know can support you. So this call is for you. This scope is for you. And I love doing live Q&As to support you. So if you have a question that maybe it's regarding your business, maybe you're an author or a speaker or a blogger, or you're a coach, or you're thinking of starting a business, you've got an idea, you're not sure how to make it happen, I want to help you make it happen, okay? So no question is off the limits, and nothing's off the table. So you can ask whatever you like. And what makes these calls great, and if you guys were on the calls last week, you know they were on fire. What makes these calls great are your questions, all right? And so play full out. Don't be shy, because you can't get what you need unless you ask for what you need, right? So I appreciate your hearts. Again, for those of you who have just joined me, I'm Mia Redrick, the mom strategist. My website is miaredrick.com, MIA Redrick.com. And I support moms toward life and business success by coaching them. So are there any questions for me before we get started? I want to make sure I can read and put my glasses on, because Camille tells me that I need to see. I see better when I put my glasses on. So are there any questions for me to get started? So I know a lot of times what people ask me as it relates to coaching is like, why would you work with a coach? Like, how do you know you need to work with a coach? So let me share with you my story. When I first got started in business 13 years ago, hey, thank you so much for sharing. I did not know what I wanted to do. I don't know what that sound is, okay? I did not know what I was doing in the sense of what coaching was. I didn't know what mom coaching was. I never heard of a coach. And I was getting started in my business, and I thought that I would go to a director of a small business resource center, and that he would support me with getting started in my business. And what happened for me was that I was humiliated. I was told that no one would ever pay you for your background in training and working with moms to combine that in a business. That's ridiculous. And you know, you might be like me. I mean, maybe you have this unconventional dream, something you want to do that no one's ever heard of, and you can't figure out how to take it and monetize it. That's where I was when I first got started in business, and I went the conventional route. And then I had gone on the website, on the web, and ended up looking up something and found coaching. I found a coach who, Terry Levine was her name, and I didn't know what coaching was, and I reached out to her and soon learned that by working with a coach that I could take the thoughts that I had, my background as a corporate trainer and my love of motherhood, and put those together into a business. And that is really how I got started, 13 years ago, coaching clients. And, if you asked me 13 years ago, Did I know that today was going to be, like that the business that I had today, I would have been able to create? I didn't know that. But what I did do in choosing a coach, there were a couple of things that I was looking for. One, I wanted someone that her life was in alignment with what I wanted to create. So for me, that meant freedom. I wanted someone who owned her time because I wanted to create a business that allowed me to own my time. I wanted to be able, I didn't want to build a business and that owned me, that made me have to travel from one place to the next place, or that I didn't have any control over my time. And this particular coach, she was taking December, January, and February off and working in Mexico every year. She was working in Mexico every year and running her business that way. And I knew if she was doing that, she could teach me how to be free. I was totally into that. So I guess my statement to you would be, if you're looking for a coach, one of the things that you would be looking for is however your coach is making her money is likely how she's going to teach you, he or she is going to teach you how to make yours. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for the last 10 years, and I'm excited about that. I love picking my kids up in the morning from school. I love being able to pick them up from school, taking them in the morning, picking them up from school, and participating, playing full out, however I choose to. My husband and I are both full-time entrepreneurs, and that is really important to me. And I always like to say that because I think a lot of times in entrepreneurship, we forget the reason why we become entrepreneurs. You become an entrepreneur for many reasons, but I wanted to own my time, wanted to control my time. Does that make sense? Parts of it make sense. The second thing I would say that I would look for if I were looking for a coach is, are you looking for someone that is able to support you in your life or in your business? Now, to me, thank you so much for the hearts. To me, that's my life informs my business. And a lot of times I see so many people choosing coaches who want to, and they're great business coaches, and they can help you get a result around your business, but they're not considering your life. Now, I know that you're a mom. If you're a mom, we can't ignore the fact that you're a mom, right? You need systems in order for you to grow your business as a mom, okay? Because there's certain unscheduled interruptions. There's certain factors that go into your life as a mom that other people don't have to deal with, right? So some examples might be you might be nursing in the mornings, or carpooling in the mornings, or kids might be getting sick. And so sometimes because of those things, it's more difficult to be consistent as a mom in business. So we need systems that are specific for you if you're going to grow your business. And so I would say if you're a mom and you want to grow your business and you're thinking about working with a coach, one of the things that would be important to me is that someone really understood that for me of how can I accomplish my goals as a mom. Does that make sense? Any questions, any follow-up questions for me? Because I thought, let me just kind of jump in. Would it make sense to join your Core Moms group before you can afford your other programs? So your other programs, help me understand the other programs that you're talking about. So what she's saying is, I have a entrepreneurial coaching program called Core Moms Coaching. It supports moms with life and business success. There's literally a life track and a business track to support moms. And then also there's an incredible community of women that really do support one another to accomplish their goals. I think it depends. I'll look for your response, your follow-up response, but it depends. Meaning, one of the things that one of the benefits of Core Moms is the way that I teach you how to build your business, even what I teach you in terms of outsourcing, likely is going to help you save money and not waste money. So the reality, your other program offers. Oh, okay, I understand. Within Core Moms, what I love about that program is that it literally is an incubator program for mom entrepreneurs. It literally takes you from soup to nuts. I get you to create a product. I show you how to monetize the product. I show you how to outsource within your business, meaning how to build your website in a way that's affordable, under $500, that's high quality. How to get administrative support for as low as $4 an hour. And if you don't know anything about those things, what you don't know will often cost you a tremendous amount of money. In terms of my programs, Core Moms is an entrepreneurial-based program. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're a mom, it is a phenomenal program for just that. if you are not an entrepreneur and you're looking for more life support, then I offer the Moms Academy, which is it's like $97 a month. You get a download of self-care strategy for yourself each and every day, and you get a call to support you around moving the needle in your life. And people really like that program. A lot of people sign up for it when they want accountability, because you get assigned accountability partners within that community. Core Moms is different. It's literally for you if you got an idea, something you want to accomplish in your life and in your business, and you want the accountability and the support and a system to help you take that idea and turn it into a business. That's what the Core Moms program is for. And it's a tremendous program, and that has supported some incredible entrepreneurs. Now, you do have to do the work. You have to do all the heavy lifting yourself. But the coolest part is that every month you get a home assignment, which is if you come on the calls, you get a home assignment. You have 30 days to complete it, and voila. Now you're getting done the things in your business, and I'm not just leading that by accident. Is that Camille? I think that's Camille. And I have my glasses on. See that, Camille? I can see everything. So it's a really wonderful program. It's a great resource. The community is incredible. The women really do support one another. And so did I answer your question? Laughing out loud. You are on. I am on. And you know what? I wasn't sure if I was going to make it today or not. I had a little running around to do. And yesterday I didn't scope at all because I was recovering from my week last week. So for those of you who don't know, I am Mia Redrick, the mom strategist, and I'm sticking to it. And I support moms with life and business success. And last week in my own business, my own dreams, I just had one of those. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I had one of those dream weeks, right? As an entrepreneur, you're always setting new goals. You're always setting new dreams and for yourself. And one of those things for me, one of the things that I've been working on, that's on my vision board, that's right here. Okay, see my vision board right here. Okay, is to host my own television show. Okay, so it's been a long time goal of mine. I've done some TV. I was signed to an Emmy-nominated, nationally syndicated show 2 years ago. It's still in syndication. It was great. Loved it. I've shot for Ricky Lake Show, done a lot of TV spots. And I'm really looking for 2016 to do my own show. And last week, I had the opportunity to interview with a studio that you guys all know, but I can't say who. Studio of a Lifetime. On Tuesday, I met with the executive producer for the studio, as well as the senior vice president. And then on Friday, I don't know if I told you guys this or not, on Friday, actually 2 executive senior vice presidents came out to observe me. Okay, but nonetheless, I'm coaching my clients on Friday. So I did a live event in LA on Friday. It was cool. And it was just an intimate coaching experience. And 2 executives came out to check me out. Now, yeah, it was awesome. And I think that my takeaway was that, when I started my business 13 years ago, I was just taking it step by step and working on me. And this is the process of an entrepreneur. So a lot of times we look at the finished product and then that's all we know. But the reality is that big steps are just a result of making small steps, right? Small changes, small steps. And eventually those steps lead into bigger and bigger opportunities. And so last week was just like a dream come true for me in terms of the opportunity, the exposure. I mean, if you guys knew the company involved, the studio involved, you would flip. And you will know. I'll tell you guys eventually, but I can't yet. And it's unbelievable, the access, the opportunity, and the fact that when preparation meets opportunity, it's the bomb. Okay? All kinds of cool stuff starts to happen. So that was kind of my story of what happened last week. And if you guys have any questions about that experience, I'm open to answering that. I mean, this call is for you. And I thought that what I could do is explain to you the value of life coaching for you to reach your goals. Because a lot of times as moms, we don't know, or we don't even think about how coaching can help us. A lot of times I meet moms that hung up about, a couple $100 a month, not thinking about the dollars you're leaving on the table because the dream you have that you're not able to realize because, you don't want to invest in yourself. And the fact of the matter is, great success requires investment. I don't know anyone that creates success without investing in something. You got to invest in yourself, right? You got to invest in your dreams, dollars, and lifestyle. Yes, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about understanding that you are worth it, and that you've got to get around people who are doing the things that you want to do, and you got to learn from them. And I think that was the one thing that, what I was saying earlier about I hired a coach, Terry Levine, who was phenomenal coach, rated the top 10 women's coach in all the country. I mean, literally trying to transition to a place of receiving. Yes. Receiving is important. And at the end of the day, investing in yourself, you are your number one asset. And that's what I understand, is that when I invest in who I am, that I can trust that I'm going to give and sow in places that are really going to impact and change the world. But I've got to make sure that I invest in me so that I can invest in other places. And that's what I've done over the years. I mean, if I look back and I say branding coaches, marketing coaches, speech coaches, you know what I mean? Starts with me, ends with we. Yes, absolutely. Anything that you do for yourself is ultimately what you give to someone else. And the same is true conversely. Whatever you don't give to yourself, you can't give to anyone else. That's why it's so important to have a mentality shift as it relates to investing in yourself, because it starts with, is Cordelia in the house? I think she is. She's one of my Core Mom coaching clients. Hey, Cordelia. But whatever you are doing for yourself, it's ultimately what you are doing for the people that you love. And whatever you do not do for yourself is also what you cannot give them. All right. And your children, your spouse, they deserve to be in relationship with someone that adds value to the relationship, because you like who you are. You love who you are. Thank you guys so much for joining the scope. I am Mia Redrick, the mom strategist, and I am sticking to that. Now, do me a favor, invite your friends, your Twitter friends, any friends on Facebook. This is a live session which I'm just explaining the value of what life coaching can do for you, life and business coaching, because a lot of times people hem and haw about making the investment in a coaching program, but coaching changed my life. There are things that I learned through coaching or just the association with other people that really changed my outlook. There are things that I've never heard before in my entire world, and sometimes we are trying to coach ourselves, and it just doesn't work that way. Do you guys have any questions for me? You can ask me any questions as it relates to your life or your business, or any questions about last week, which was my big week. Like, what was it like to walk into the studio of a lifetime with the EVP and the SVP and to talk to those guys by myself? What was that like? And I can tell you that. You want to know what it was like, Camille? Camille is awesome. She's a Core Mom client also. And she rocks. She's a fertility coach. You guys got to check her out. How did you handle your nerves? You know what? This is what's so interesting is that, great question too. On Monday, I got a phone call saying that they wanted to move my appointment up a day earlier to Tuesday, because the EVP was leaving town Wednesday through Friday. And so I had to change my flight around and go on Tuesday morning I was at the airport like at 5:30 in the morning. When I got to LA, I rented a car, and then I had to drive to my hotel. So I drove to the hotel after I drove around the airport 2 times. Totally lost, right? When I get there, I don't check email on my phone because it's just not my thing. So when I got to the hotel and I got to my computer, I checked my emails, and I had a message saying, could I meet them earlier for my appointment? And I was like, what? So that gave me about an hour and 15 minutes, if you can believe this, from the time I got to the hotel to go meet them, of which, LA driving time can be crazy. So I took a shower, literally, and left. And went to my appointment. I didn't have any time to be nervous. And what I've understood is that for me, the way I approach things is if I show up as me, my only responsibility when I'm meeting someone is to be fully present. And not to be distracted by like shoulds or oughts or, but it's to bring me, like for someone to understand if you're sitting with me, if I'm completely present in this moment with you and I'm sharing who I am, you are going to, thank you, yes, then you are going to love everything, right? That's my only responsibility. But if I get distracted and start thinking like I'm not enough, like maybe I need this kind of paper or maybe I need to say this kind of way, then I become distracted by limitation. When I understand that I am enough by just simply being centered enough to show up and share who I am and what this journey is about, then that's my responsibility when I'm meeting. And that's really what I did. Literally, the EVP introduced me and said, tell the SVP your story, because I had met with him just about 7 weeks ago. And he said, from the beginning. And I said, from the beginning? Okay. And I did, right from the beginning. I took it right there. And somewhere in the middle of that, the SVP, she kicked off her shoes, sat on her feet, and said like this. And she's like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. And I don't say that to you from any ego perspective. It's just that my responsibility was to show up as myself. And I think if each of us show up as ourselves, then people are going to say you are amazing, because you as yourself, you are amazing as yourself, right? And that's what's so cool. And, that's what I always feel like is my responsibility. Now, I do use self-talk. I thank you so much, Cordelia. And I do have self-talks, like, Mia, you're amazing. You were born for this moment, and rocket. So I tell myself these things all the time as my mirror talk. And so because I look at myself and I say great things to myself when I'm talking to other people about myself, I'm not in conflict about who I am. And so if you're struggling with like your own self-talk or confidence, it's because you're not practicing enough. And a great book is, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shed Helmstetter. I can't recommend that book enough. I probably mention it almost every scope because that book really changed my life about the power of what I say to myself. Because what you say to yourself is ultimately what other people experience when they experience you. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So, no, it was an amazing, thank you. It was an amazing week, fueled by, just being led. Thank you so much. And just feeling like you're being led from one thing to the next. And what I did not know was that on Tuesday, I met with the executives for about an hour and 20 minutes or so, which is like a long time really for them. And then the senior vice president said, hey, I want to come out. What are you doing this week? She said, and I told her I'm meeting with some clients throughout the week. And she said, I want to see you. I want to observe you with some ladies. And she came out on Friday for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, somewhere in there, to observe me with the ladies. Now, that I did not know was going to happen. And she brought another SVP with her. That I did not know. And so I say that to you because life was always going to give you surprises. And you just got to go with the flow and know that you are enough. And know that it's not about impressing anyone. It's about showing up as yourself, being who you are and being comfortable with who you are all the time. And this is why it's so important to me, to read and to work on yourself. And were you nervous about that? I did not have time to be nervous about that. I had clients, that's a great question, Camille. I had clients that were there who I was servicing, and that was my focus, was being of service to my clients. And it wasn't about being nervous with her at all, because I'm just going to be myself. You know what I mean? And I'm going to say this because it may sound unrealistic too, right? Because it's like, okay, but I think that what that is I have done this so much. I have coached my clients, so many clients over the years. I have worked on me so much. I've read so much that I'm prepared. And this is why heavy lifting is so important for you, right? In your business, for you to invest in who you are, because all of the times, like if you think of life like a bag of tools, all the things, all the deposits that you put in, eventually you're almost on autopilot. It's like doing what you do is who you are. It's not, you're not doing it any longer. It's an extension of your it's like a limb, right? It's like my hand. So me coaching or living in my purpose and my gifts is not anything I have to think about anymore. It's like who I am. And that's the reality of the experience. And when that happens, you're no longer nervous. It's no longer like you're thinking like, okay, now I need to be a coach. I'm like, I'm a coach. This is what I do every day, all day. And we just got one more person to the party. And that's how I saw it. And that's how I see it. And so that was exciting. But it was, that had never happened to me. What to say when you talk to yourself, Dr. Shed Hempstead. Thank you so much for sharing that. Great, great book. Excellent book about the power of reprogramming what you say to yourself. And at the end of the day, that's all we can control. I say great entrepreneurs have great self-talk. You just bought it. Awesome. So you're my kind of girl, right? Like you hear it and you take action, because the only way our life changes is by the actions that we take. Doesn't change by hearing, whatever it is. It changes by the actions that you take, right? That move you in the direction where you want to go. That's how you change your life. That's how you change anything in your life. Yes, we are responsible for our story. You are totally 100% responsible for your story. And guess what? If you don't like a chapter, rewrite it. You can change it at any time. And that is important. No need to lament about it. No need to be sad about it. You don't like where you are right now? Change the chapter. That's it. You get to do that. You are the author. Yes, no copy and paste. Nope, no copy and paste. And it's kind of cool because it's all, the more you work on yourself, the more you realize that the chapters start to evolve anyway. I know, Camille, that was kind of funny, right? The more you work on yourself, the more the chapters start to change anyway. I have to say that, I was just saying this to a client, like if I look at, each year as I've grown in my business by investing in myself, each year you're different. You start to change. And you change what you like, you change what you know, you change how you show up. And it's a really powerful thing. It's an incredible gift to be in a place of changing your life and understanding that if you don't like where you are, that's okay. And, you don't have to be upset about it. Change where you are. Do something different, everywhere. And, for me, I don't believe in doing a whole lot of things at one time. I just take 3 simple steps every day to move my life forward. That's it. 3 small actions every day. I actually got it from the Success Principles, which is Jack Canfield's book. Another awesome resource if you guys don't have it, the Success Principles by Jack Canfield. And you guys read that book? Okay. So to me, coaching changed my entire life. It helped me to understand that this thing that I didn't understand, women are uniquely suited to change because of the roles. Women are changing every day. We have to change. Moms, yeah, that's a great book, right? As moms, we have to change. You just want to make sure that you know what you want, so that the change that you are seeking is change that you want. You have that book too. Yeah, it's a great book. Very, very well done. I actually just met, what's his name? The guy, the largest story in that book. There's a guy named Forrest in this book. And I was at a conference 2 weeks ago where my coach was teaching, and Forrest was there. Forrest, the guy that was featured in the Jack Canfield book. Really great. He's an incredible motivational speaker, and he's actually in Dubai right now speaking and getting paid to speak. And I was like, wow, he travels around the world and tells amazing stories. Really great, humble guy. So make sure you check it in the book. I just met Forrest in the book. Great, lovely, wonderful being. And in fact, when I met Forrest, he was he took $100 and got a bunch of gift cards and saw some homeless people on the street and gave each of them like $25 gift cards, each, before he would come to the sessions in the morning. Just an example of a go-giver, really. Just my kind of guy. Like totally had nothing but incredible respect for him. I want to check something here. Are there any other questions for me about, where you are about life coaching? I know that's totally nice, right? About where you are right now with life coaching. or any questions about life coaching? Okay, because I don't think that women do it enough. Moms don't fully understand the value of how coaching can really amp up where you are. I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you have an opportunity for a do-over, right? You have an opportunity to look at your life again and say, when I go back to work, what do I want it to be? And that's in your career or in your business. You get a chance to redefine it. And that's what I think is cool. I was a stay-at-home mom for a period of time, and I loved having the opportunity to do it over again, like to combine what I want to do and to take control. To take control. All right. Are there any other questions you guys have for me about life and business coaching? Because, I mentioned to you that one of the things that I'd like to look for is to make sure that my coach is living the way that I want to live. So it means that if I know that freedom is important to me, and freedom is important to me owning my time, okay, then I want to make sure that that coach is making their money that way, okay? The other thing that is important to me is that that my coach is, that what they are teaching me, that they can actually show me that they have done. So like if you tell me that you are #1 Amazon bestseller, I want to know that that's real, or that that you get media or whatever it is. I need to know that that's real. And I think a lot of times we don't ask enough of the people who we say, hey, mentor me. The fact of the matter is, you need to see it. If it's real, you should be able to see it. And right? Okay. And if they can't show it to you, then it's not real. So I think that is that's important. And you do substantiate. It's important. To me, that's important. In terms of working with a coach. I know that with a fraud, you can call it fraud, but if you don't do your due diligence, you get what you get and you don't get upset. And I think the other thing that you want to make sure when you're working with a coach is you want to make sure there's chemistry. At the end of the day, you're locking arms with someone likely for a year, and you want to make sure that you connect with them, and they can have all the best things in the world, but if you don't connect with them, then you might not get as much value out of a program as you would. And I think the other thing is you need to make sure that you're in a place of not wanting and you're ready to take action. Because I have to say, my Core Moms coaching program, it's a great coaching program. But I don't do the heavy lifting for you. Like if you want to write a book, I can tell you how to write a book, how to outsource it, how to get it set up with the publisher. And I teach all of that. But if you aren't willing to, post the bids for the job, write the book or outsource it, what good is it? So you have to be in a place personally that you're willing to be accountable enough for the investments that you're making. Because if you don't do that, then what happens is then you start to whine about the programs or people. Yep, lazy is lazy, right? You start to say, okay, this isn't working for me because of you. No, this isn't working for you because of you, because you haven't done what you need to do. And that's really important to also, you need to make sure you're in a place where you're going to do the things. You're going to stop making excuses. And I think the other thing that's important is you need to make sure you're in a community that promotes you or encourages you to feel accountable. And I think that community should not be one that's competing with you. And, that's how I feel personally. Now, some people are motivated, but people competing with them, I don't need that to be. I want to be around people who will share resource, who will share tips and strategies, who care about my success and my growth. That is important to me. And when I'm looking for coaching programs, you know what? That's what I'm looking for. And I think the other thing is you want to be in community with people who are your ambition level and above. And I can't stress that more. Yep, that is important to me also. Yes, it is. You want to be in community with people who are your ambition level and above. You want to run with people who you can learn from. And people forget that. A lot of times I see people who approach coaching, getting a coach, like when they go to networking events. Oh, and they meet somebody and it's like, oh, what do you do? And it's like, oh, I sell insurance. Me too. Okay. So, hey, how about this? How about the person doesn't need to do what you do. They need to have what you need in order for it to be great for you. And what that means is that if you need someone that's great at sales strategy, how about being paired with someone that has that increases your knowledge about selling? If you need to learn to market better, how about being paired with someone that is better at marketing so that you increase and improve your comprehension in marketing? So to me, the best types of programs really do support you because they get you around the people that you need, and you start to learn things that you didn't already know. All right. So that's what I think is a value in any coaching program that's out here. And then, programs are different. Some programs are in the evening, some are during the day. My programs are all in the evening, Eastern Standard Time at 9 o'clock at night. I record all of my calls for my clients for their convenience. And I also know that it's a lot of information you got to go back to, listening to whatever it is that I've said. Likely before you implement. So, you want to make sure that the programs that you pick, if you need to have recordings, that they offer that. If you want to be on the calls, some of my clients don't prefer to be on the calls. It's okay. And others do. And then, what kind of reinforcement do you need? Almost all coaching programs, you need some kind of reinforcement. I have a Q&A call that I offer to my clients, and that's really where anybody can call me up each month and ask anything that they want. And it's interesting because you find that there's the people who come to those calls get the best results. Why? Because they're getting their questions answered. And the people who don't make the time to show up on those calls are typically people who are like making excuses, you know what I'm saying, about not doing it. And, and I will say that coaching is a lot of times you got to overcome yourself, It's a new process. So you got to overcome yourself. You got to overcome your bad habits. I don't know when your next call is. I can send it to you. Let me see. I don't know if I can work two computers at the same time. Let me see. Pull it up. You are in a Core Moms 6, I believe. All right, 1 second, Camille. Okay, I'm going to try to type and talk. So I have a lot of skills, but typing and talking isn't really one of them. 1 second. What I can do is I'll forward over to you the schedule. 1 second. Let me see if I have it open. I'm trying to, okay, no, okay. Do you see how slow I'm moving? All right, Core Moms. Okay. So, Camille just signed up for Core Moms. And I want to see here. 1 second. For your group. Okay. Your next call is on December 22nd. On December the 22nd is the next call. Is for your group. Did you get that? Okay. And that is on how to monetize product. So December 22nd, how to monetize product. But I'll send this over to you also. And then you guys have a call on December 28th, which is personal growth and fear. And December 30th is an open coaching call. And the 13th of January is how to build your dream team. Yeah. And then the January 18th is the life systems call on what is draining you. And then January 25th is an open coaching call. So that's when your next series of calls are. You will get also a reminder via free conference as well. So wonderful. And anyway, are there any other questions for me? Cortelia, are you out there? Are you still there, or did you check out? Okay. And Camille, if you guys would put your websites, any of my Core Mom coaching clients, I'd love it if you guys put your website so people can follow you, or put your Twitter handle so people can follow you also, that are here, that are on the scope as well. So to me, when you're choosing a coaching program, you're thinking about, the hours, you're thinking about your commitment, you're thinking about, are you in a place that you want to do a heavy lift? That's very important. And if you're not doing any heavy lifting, you don't want to do any heavy lifting, you can still benefit from services, but you need more of a done for you service. So a done for you service means like somebody, you're going to pay a little bit more, usually 3 times as much. And someone's going to actually, like, let's say you wanted to get your book done and you don't want to be coached on writing your book, but you want to actually have the book product done for you, you're going to pay, like I offer that service, like $15,000. Now, if you decided to go through a coaching program with me, you're going to pay about $5,000 a year, and I can coach you on how to do it yourself. But if you decided to have me do it for you, then it's going to be about $15,000 or $22,000 depending on the product. So, it's important to know the difference between the two. And I think sometimes when people invest in coaching programs, they don't always think about that. They think that a coaching program is, that somebody's going to do it for you. No, you have to do the work. When I look back at my business, all my pitches, all my marketing, a lot of that, I did all of that myself. Now, granted, I had to, over time, I made enough money to get people to support me and to build a team. But I always had to do the heavy lifting in my business. That goes along with entrepreneurship. Does that make sense? Okay. Do you guys have any questions for me? Any other questions? Anything I didn't answer about coaching and the process of coaching? Anything? Thank you so much for joining. Any questions for me? Okay. And I think that there's the different ways that you can coach with a coach is, you can hire someone that's a life coach. You can hire someone that's your business coach. And sometimes you can hire people based on specific things that you need, like, maybe a clarity coach, or maybe it's a health coach. So there are different niches even within coaching of people, like a fertility coach. So you can hire people based on different need and specific needs that you have. I know one of the questions that people always ask me is whether or not you need to work with coaches that are certified or not. And I think it's yes and no. I mean, I think that there are times that it makes sense to work with someone who has some certification in whatever it is that you need. Maybe there's a certain process for Christian life coaching. I know Anitra Allen, who's one of my Core Mom coaching clients, is a certified. Do you do that type of coaching for clarity? I am not a clarity coach. But one of my clients is. She's a great clarity coach. Ann Palmer is her name. Although I do help my clients get clear. I think the difference is that Ann does specific work around just clarity. That's what she is. She's a clarity coach. What I do is support my clients who, have they need systems for their life or for their business, and their moms. And they want to know how to show up powerfully in both of those ways and how to integrate the two. That's really what my specialty is as it relates to moms. So I don't really do a whole lot of clarity work as much as I support you with, looking at your business, looking at your life, and making sure that your life is informing the choices that you're making, and making sure that the life plan that you're putting together includes models for setting boundaries, what is draining you, making sure you have clear systems for where you work in your home, making sure that you're advocating for who you are within your home. Like, do you have support? Are you outsourcing, insourcing inside your home? Or are you trying to do it all, and as a result of that, you're overwhelmed and things like that? That's really what my specialty is. But I do know people who are clarity coaches. One of my clients is a great clarity coach. She just had a retreat in Phoenix this weekend. Yes, I see, of course, strategy, mom strategist. That's right. So what I like to do is teach my clients how to use strategy in order to move forward in their life and their business. Does that make sense? Okay. And I believe that every mom is the expert of her life. Like, I don't see it that anyone can ever be an expert in the life of a mom. I mean, like, you are the expert of your family, okay? And we need you to be. So what I do is teach moms strategy, better systems, so that they reduce their overwhelm, they get more done, and that the dreams that they have, they're able to accomplish those. And I think what I'm particularly good at is coming up with how to take a digital strategy, how to create digital strategy to create wealth. So how to take what you know and put it into, package it into programs or into products in some way that allow you to make passive income. Because that's how I've always made my money, is from, from my home office, which is what I'm in right now, from my home office. Literally, my very first product was an ebook, which was an ebook that I created, about 40 pages, and that ebook made about $88,000. And I was hooked to selling products online via digital strategy. I never knew you could be in a grocery store and make money until I started selling ebooks. And I wrote 17 other ebooks. And literally, for the most part, I outsourced them. I didn't even write them. I had a ghostwriter write them for me. And that's what I teach my clients how to do, how to take and create content. Over the course of time, did it make $88,000? Yes. Over the course of time, it made $88,000. Yes. But the vast majority of money I made over the first 3 years was when, the ebook was making about $30-some thousand a year, 20-some thousand, something like that a year. And the ebook has done about $88,000. And that's when I was hooked. Like, I never knew you could have a 40-page ebook that you could sell online like that and people would buy. And I learned about how to market with ads. That was before Facebook was really out for ads. I used Google AdWords mostly to sell, my squeeze page for my book. And that's what I continue to do today, although I use Facebook ads quite a bit to be able to market my programs as well. So, and it's a great way to get in front of your target audience and to sell products and services in that way. Okay. Any other questions you guys have for me? But I like using digital products. I like to do continuity programs where you take what you know, you put it inside of a system, people can buy it in a residual way. I offer a couple self-study programs. I have like 7 different courses that I offer to clients to buy passively from me. And I think when you're a mom, it's nice to be able to have those options because, you don't have to make money just based on your ability to perform. And I know everybody says, hey, in order for you to make money, you got to like fly from one place to the next place. And, and certainly this week, really, in the last month, I did more traveling this last month than I have really all year because I don't really travel a lot. In my business. So I just had this appointment and I was in LA, and then 2 weeks ago I was in Philly, and then I just did my retreat. But typically my life is really like that. I do speaking engagements from my home. And if you guys have been checking me out, I just did the keynote in Trinidad, which was 2 weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago? A week and a half ago, from my house, from this right here, this space with a sold out room. So that's one of the things that I'm really into, is looking for options for me to compound my time as a mom to be able to make money from the comfort of my home. And if you're into that, you'll love everything that I teach as well. Any other questions for me before I sign off? Did this broadcast support you guys? Okay, so I'm Mia Redrick, the mom strategist, and I support moms with life and business success. Now, you can always check me out, MiaRedrick.com. Thank you so much, MiaRedrick.com. And if you're interested in, thinking about working with a coach, or you're interested in working with me, you can always email me directly, and I'll set up an appointment to talk with you at Mia_Redrick, Redrick, at findingdefinitions.com, or you can check out my coaching program, coremomscoaching.com. That's CORMOMS coaching.com. Okay, and there you'll get some free downloads also, and learn a little bit about this really awesome coaching program I have for moms. All right. If there are no other questions for me, then I'm going to sign off. I'm going to give you guys a second and see if there are any questions, and otherwise I'm going to sign off. And thank you. Thank you, Camille. I'll talk to you. I'll see you inside the Facebook community. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you guys soon, okay? Bye. Good night. Thank you for the hearts.